Mm. I can't be the only one who hates when their tea gets cold in all like 5 minutes. Just made this tea. Sorry, go. But anywho, hello and welcome to Hobbies Book Nook. My name is Laina, and if you are new here, I greatly appreciate you stopping by. If you are an old friend, thank you for coming back and joining me. I want to talk about the first 3 months of the year. Um, I did not read a lot. I actually only read about 6 books. So it's 3 books a month. February that did not happen. January that did happen, but we kind of started a book in December but finished in January. We just kind of counted it as a January read. But you know what? It's still a read. A read is a read. Read is a read. And I'll take it. So let's jump in. We're gonna just bop 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 our way into this. All right, before we start, I have bought this at Target and I don't use it often. I use it enough. And when I say that this is the only smell that I ever want to smell, like I want to put this up my nose like a drug. It is the Mixed by Vanilla Bourbon Hair and Body Mist number 9. And when I told y'all the reason I just sprayed it is because I am next to my hamster. And even though her cage was just cleaned and all of her stuffing is fresh, I don't know why, but she stinks. And I've given her a tiny bath, essentially just let her swim in some warm water and damp it, like wipe her down with a washcloth because we don't have the hamster bath stuff, and I'm scared that she's gonna eat it because she's never been introduced to it. So we kind of just do a bath once every 2 weeks. This stuff smells so delicious. It smells like if brown sugar and honey with like a hint of like my partner's cologne just had a baby. And it's not like strong, and it lasts. But anywho, go to Target and they have more. They have a lot more scents. I want them all, but I know that this will be the go-to. But I needed this because, hamsters stink. But anywho, out of the whole, my hamster stinks and I'm in love with this perfume, or whatever you want to call it, this musk, this sexy musk. Let's get into my quarter 1 reads. I did read 2 ebooks. I don't have a Kindle. I got mine off of Barnes and Noble Nook. That's where I get my books because I do have Kindle, but it's on my phone, and I'd rather not sit on my phone all day. I will essentially read on my Nook. But anywho, let's start the day. Let's start it. I'm losing shit. I started this in December. I finished this in January. I gave it a 4.5. Reason being, it was first off, it was delicious. It was absolutely worth reading, taking 2 months to read. And I think the reason I took so long to read it was because first off, when we talk about the font, it's so tiny, and I have contacts, but I am pretty sure I have the worst eyesight in my family. Well, one of. So it was just like straining. And so I actually was reading off and on. I was reading the physical copy, but I was also reading it on my Nook. I actually went and bought it off of Barnes and Noble's Nook. And that's how I was reading for about a month and a half. I was honestly just going back and forth. This book was absolutely amazing. I gave it 4.5. The only reason I didn't give it a full 5 was because what the heck was her name? The old bitch that we killed. I don't forgot her name. She wasn't that relevant to me. Um, she just irked me, and I didn't really see a reason for her being. And yes, I understand that we needed her in the story, but it was just I just felt like just a teeny tiny bit that there was something missing about her that we did not know, and that's what made me give it 4.5 stars. It wasn't simply because, oh, she was annoying, I don't like the book anymore. It was more so because she irritated my soul so much that I needed more backstory on why she irritated me. And I feel like we just knew how she felt about Tamlin. We knew about her sister, but we didn't know a lot about her. They're like, oh, well, she turned this way because of her sister. Something's not missing. Something missing. That's why I gave it 4.5. But when I say that this book, when I finally, I think I got past, I think it was chapter 11. After I hit chapter 11, this book was gone. I was devouring this book. But 4.5, I believe it's gorgeous. I have started the next book, Court of Mist and Fury. I did stop because I'm a mood reader and it was just not fitting the mood. But anywho, on to the next one. Next book is called Scoring a Soulmate. I gave it 3 stars. I know that it was for sure, it was a novella on Barnes and Noble books. I don't have a physical copy, so we'll pretend like it goes here in this general area. Is he ends up doing the program with his sister, and in all honesty, it was more so about her. It honestly took me like it was less than 100 pages, and it took me like a whole weekend, 2 days to read. It was not worth it. There's a whole bump on my knee, and that does not look good. Anywho, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the read, honestly. For it to have 3 stars, I probably should have DNF'd it, but I was gonna DNF it, but I was like, it's 100 pages. Let's just get it out the way. Bada bing, bada boom, and that was that. So it wasn't something to like run home and scream to mommy about. Cause the next book that I read is by far one of my all-time favorites, and the bad part is I cannot get past the first book, which is why I ended up buying the entire series just so I can read it throughout the year. The book is Rhapsodic, the Bargainer series. When I tell y'all, Desmond Flynn, that man can get it. Okay, that man could be fictional. He got wings. He's just the fact that he knew that for 7 years. I am sorry if you have not read it. You need to. For 7 years, he was in love with Calypso, and she made pretty much a promise that he can have all of her. Well, for that to be true, it was like, can you go 7 years without this person? Essentially, like to deem that you want this person is for you. He knew that she was his soulmate. She just thought he dipped. Well, with his magic is like, we're gonna see if she's your soulmate for real. Can you wait 7 years for her? And he waited 7 years. 11 years. He waited for her. And then he came back and he's like, hey. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I missed you and I need your help. When I tell y'all, that man is so fine. Scrumdiddlyumptious, all right? I would once again, this is my third time reading this book. I ended up buying the whole series because I just desperately needed to keep going. I wish I can get the physical books, but you know what? I'm okay with the ebooks unless somebody wants to like gift me the physical books, but I'm pretty sure that's not gonna happen. It's a 5. It's a 5 out of 5. It's a 5 out of 5. This book is one that I highly recommend to people who are really getting into fantasy. I'm not even sure how I stumbled upon Rhapsodic. I'm not even. I want to say I think I saw it on somebody's Instagram, and I am very big on judge a book by its cover. So if a book attracts me, it's what I buy. I don't even read the back. I don't know anything about it. But if a book attracts me, I am 100% going to buy it. Hint why these up here. So yes, Rhapsodic was a 5-star read, and I suggest everybody go read it. That's wrong. I really like this cup. Rise and shine. Anywho, so in February, I was overly excited. Like, I should have been like here, but I was just a little bit up here. I ended up ordering a book in November, December. Pre-ordered it, was excited, forgot to make sure that I checked in. Well, ended up forgetting to reorder it the day of, and it was just a whole debacle. It was a whole mess. Mess. But you know what? I finally got the book. The problem was I didn't read anything. Like I think I started reading The Count of Monte Cristo. I had already started that last year, but I just wasn't getting past chapter 20. I started Court of Mist and Fury. I just ended up starting a lot of books because I was just so excited about this book. Well, this book is a 5-star read. I'm sorry, that's a lie. This book was a 4-star read. I think I kind of just, what do we say? I just got too happy. Like I was way too excited that for the first like 3 days of getting it, I didn't read it. It just kind of just sat there. I like was reading like 1 page a day, and finally it picked up, thankfully. But the book is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score, and I'm so glad that I finally got into reading it. It was a 4-star read for me. I felt as if things moved a little heavy for me, just a little. Not, when I say heavy, I mean I felt as if occasionally Nash was kind of pushing Angelina, and that was pretty much it. That was it for me. That's the only reason I lost the star. I don't like the pushy. Like she's like, "Yo, homie, you know, it's kind of fast for me. It's new for me. Give me a minute." He's just like, "I'm gonna be with you," and it's like, calm down, golden retriever. It's okay. She didn't say she don't want to be with you. She just said it was new for her. I love that it gives you a perspective of how the bad girl is really like a little good girl, and boy is got a little bad boy in him. That's one thing that I love. Um, I love that it's a small town romance. I don't really hit small town romances like that because I don't really find them. It's usually like inner city boy or inner city girl meets country boy, you know, something like that. So this was actually really, really cute. I really enjoyed myself. I did not allow anyone to talk to me during the time that I was reading this. My phone was on silent, the lo-fi beats were on, headphones on. I had all the snacks, and I was just sitting in my corner reading the hell out of this book, just enjoying it. I do have some notes in here, though. I didn't know that. It was just like the small things for me. The fact that she was like, oh, if you know, you know, page 61. It literally just says, just highlight the whole damn page. I know you can see it. Nash. Page 61. And then page 64, after she heard about page 61. This book was just, it was very cute. It was very funny. And I will say one thing about Lucy Score, she makes sure to have some comedic relief in the book. But this is the only book I read in February because your girl was going through it with trying to get this book delivered, and then on top of that, trying to simply just not over exude myself or exhilarate myself for when this book came, and I still did. It was absolutely terrible. I was taking this book everywhere, and I mean to work, to like, because of, like I said, the first 3-4 days, I'm pretty sure the first 3-4 days was all I read, and it was bad. It was really, really bad. But yes, I tabbed the hell out of it, and I feel as if I read this again, there would be more tabs. But yes, This was a 4-star read, and I would recommend this one to people who like the small town romance, black cat girl and golden retriever boy scenario. This would be it for me. All right, let's get into Mizzy March. March was warm for me. March was very warm. March was falling in love with love all over again. That's what March was for me. And that's not always the case. Just plop on in there. That isn't always the case for me simply because March is my birthday month, and um, I usually feel a lot of feels around that time. I don't normally, like, if I do something for my birthday, it's usually um, with family. But this month on my birthday, I decided to stay home and spend my birthday with my partner. And he was very lovely about my birthday and made sure to make it about me. March is usually a very warm month for me. It's kind of like a reflection of what I want for my future and what I have now and where I want to be. So March ended up just being warm and cozy and a lot of fill of the feels because the 2 books that I did read this month, they were not like, I don't know how to put it. The first book that I read and finished was a manga. It was, I think I talked about this book a lot. It was I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. She was given 3 stars. Whoo, child. I had a couple of issues with this book, with this manga. The reason I had issues, I've heard that there's a movie out, and I do want to see it, but I felt that Sakura was selfish. Don't come for me. Please don't come for me. If you have read this book, if you've read or watched the movie, I don't know what the movie is because I like read a review about the movie and it does not line up with this book. At least some of what I read. But essentially long story short, Sakura has a secret. I'm gonna try to do this without spoil. That's hard. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, I'm sorry. Sakura has like a pancreas disease. She essentially wants to live life to the fullest, essentially like a wish list. Her life to the fullest by just doing things that she's always wanted to do before she dies. She thinks she has maybe like a couple years. Comes find out that ain't it. That ain't how the book ends. The way it ended was just, I'm not gonna tell you how it ends, but just know that she has pancreas disease. She wants to live her life to the fullest. I felt as if she was selfish. Once everything happened with Kun, is it Kun? Kun? Um, with everything that happens with him, I feel as if she sometimes takes advantage of him. And yes, they want to be friends. He knows she's dying. He's actually one of the only people and her parents who know that she's dying. Her best friend doesn't know, her classmates don't know, her teachers don't know. But he ends up finding a journal at the hospital and he thought it was a book. So he opened it and he read it and realized it was one of his classmates. She comes up, she's like, Ayo, you my friend now and you know my secret. And it's like, do I get a say? No? Okay. Um, she kind of puts him through this whirlwind of emotions that he shouldn't have to feel. I feel as if he should still be able to. Yes, she helps him get out of his comfort zone. Yes, she helps him, try new things, but it's forcing him to do what he didn't want to. And I felt like that sucked. Hence why that dropped down from 5 stars to 3. Um, I will say the fact that it got multiple friendships out of it and relationships that he might have never gotten if he stayed an introvert and alone. Also, the fact that he ended up getting out of his own head about how he thought other people were thinking of him. those are things that I feel were positive about this book. I wouldn't like jump and recommend this, but it was a pretty decent manga for me to have finished. I'm 90% sure this is my first fully finished manga ever, and I'm 27. Okay, that's sad, but yes, it's okay. I wouldn't like jump for joy, skippity pap pap, and recommend this to any and everybody. Just my thoughts. So, Marjory's was I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. We gave her 3 stars. Let's move on to the last book that I read in March. Trying to eat healthy is very annoying. I forgot we even had carrots in my house. And since I'm blind as a bat, I need these. And yes, I'm dipping these motherfuckers in light ranch. This is actually really good. Let's get to our last book of March. Because I low-key lied and said I read 3 and I only read 2. That's okay. I'm not necessarily that lied. I thought I was going to be done with the book before March ended, but that didn't happen. Uno momento with my snacky snack down. Our last book, I got a month, 2 months after it came out. I was so sure. So sure. I was going to read it. It has sat on this doggone shelf for a very long time, and I honestly just read it. I was like, let's just do this. Let's just read this book. It can't be. It's not gonna be bad, right? It was not bad. I'm still chewing on the carrot. Sorry. Um, the book is Love in Other Words. I gave it 5 stars. It got all the emotions. It got me laughing. It got me crying. It got me a little angry. It got me a little irritated. And if you can get me through all of the emotions, I personally feel as if it deserves 5 stars because it's very hard. It's hard for me to cry in books. So if I get an emotion that will direct my tear ducts to possibly release salt water, it's usually a 5 star for me. We follow essentially Macy and Elliot in their relationship. So my mic died, and I'm a little sad because now you're gonna hear everything under the moon that's going on outside. But anywho, let's try to get through this. Quickly follow Macy and Elliot as they go through a 15-year relationship, starting out friends and ending up lovers. There are a couple love triangles in here. And there are some like real friendships. One side character that I really, really love is Sabrina and how she tells Macy the truth and not just what she wants to hear. The conversations throughout this book are just immaculate because they're not just wordy, they actually mean something and they have adult conversations. I gave this a 5 star read and it was 100% worth it. So these were my quarter 1 reads from January to March. I did read 2 ebooks, which was Bring a Soulmate and Rhapsodic. They will be placed around my head somewhere, so that you guys can check those out. I really did enjoy my quarter 1. I know that my quarter 2 is going to be a lot better, and I am excited to tell you what they are. So let's get into my April TBR. Okay, so for April, I have 1 book that I've already started, 1 book that is a part of a book club, and 1 book that I let someone else pick for me. So I did that because I was very reluctant on what the heck I was going to read this month. I knew that I wanted something different. None of them are the same genre. So the first one is a book that I let someone else pick. I did let my partner pick this one because that's just what I wanted to do. And he picked a classic. He picked Candid by Voltaire. I actually started reading this a very long time ago when I was a wee sophomore in college, and I was a wee 21 years old. I don't think I didn't like it. I think it was just very long and boring. And at the time, no, oh no, I wasn't a sophomore in college. I wasn't 21. I was younger than 21 when I read this book. I had to be like 19. Oh, I was 19 before. Jesus Christ. Anywho, I think if I were to rate this now, I don't think it'd get past 2 stars. I honestly think it'd get about 2-3 stars. But as a more mature adult, we'll see how I feel about this. But I would rate this a two stars right now. Simply based off of how I remember me feeling when I first read it. So we shall see. We shall see where this goes. The next book is a memoir by a female comedian. I have been following her for a while. I've been following her actually way before she was on television. Seeing the show Insecure, and you remember Tiffany. Do you know that Tiffany is played by a comedic relief called Amanda Seales, who is not just a comedian, all around an amazing person. And I followed her because I thought she was cool peeps. I thought she was funny, and I thought she was honest and truthful. So the book that I'm going to be finishing, I'm 40 pages in, is Small Doses, Potent Truths for Everyday Use by Amanda Seales. Excuse me. I absolutely love this. So far, I love this book simply because we aren't just talking about women. It's not just a woman. A woman's about being black. It's about being a person in this current day and age, and how we can be better, do better, love. And it's about how to simply be the best and the most authentic you can possibly be. I'm trying to show you, like, and also this is one thing I love is the inserts in here. It's not a, I mean, there are a couple. So 40 pages in, I've already started this book. I really believe that this will be a 5-star read for me this year, and I believe that it'll be worth the read, and I'm hoping that I can get through April and finish this. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty, okay? About a mammoth, a mega ultra ginormous book, and I joined a book club just to simply read this. And my problem is that some people have already finished it. Some people are like 30 chapters ahead of me. Some people are right where I am, and that's one thing I love about the book club, is because we are all in it together, no matter how far along you are, how close to the beginning you are. I bought this book. I actually have 2 copies. I have a physical. I have a hardcover and I have a paperback. I got the paperback simply so I can annotate in it. I got the hardcover just so it could sit on my shelf and look pretty. The book is none other than The Priory of the Orange Tree. And when I say a behemoth, a mammoth of a doggone book, this book is 800, and technically it's 830 pages, but reading material is 804. I am on chapter 4. At the end of the chapters, I actually was gonna start writing like a little review, simply so I can remember, because they are a little confusing. I might just be a little not there, but you know, that's okay. Interesting. I've already, underlined it. When I underline it, essentially just means like what I want to remember, just serious things to remember. I have notes, what the great sorrow, like what something is, or what to remember. Essentially, underlining and circling is what to remember. Questions I really have about what it is. So usually, like, great sorrow is underlined, and I actually have a question. What is a great sorrow? So essentially, that's a question. It's a lot. I was really enjoying this. I stopped because it was just kind of intimidating to me, and I felt as if I wasn't annotating to my expectations. Your own expectations, huh? Also, this is my favorite page. I would get this tattooed on me. I wasn't annotating to my own expectations, and I think I put too much on myself to read this book. So I took a break. Club actually ends May 6th. So my goal is to catch up 30 pages a day and read this book. I personally feel that this is going to be a 5-star read for me, simply because I like fantasy and I've just been getting into science fiction a little more. I just really think that this is going to be a good read. This is my final book, 5-star read. I'm pretty sure it's going to be. I've already started sectioning off stuff. I actually made a schedule for the 3 books that I'm reading, and Candy will be getting 10 pages a day out of me. Small Doses will be getting 20, and Priory will be getting 30. Now, if I read more, I read more. If I don't, I don't. But that is my goal, is cited for April. I think that April is going to have a lot of opportunity, a lot of possibilities for myself and for, usually April sets my month. Even though March is like my reflection month, April is my put it into motion month. And I feel as if some things are going to be put in motion this month, and I'm excited and I'm just ready. I have some chores to finish up. I do need to finish vacuuming and cleaning off my desk, and I need to fold some laundry. I think that's pretty much it. I go back to work this week, so my ultimate goal is to just get a lot of things done today, just so I can simply go and have a little fun. I hope you guys have a great April. I will be seeing you again soon, very, very soon. So please stay tuned. Thank you again for stopping by, and thank you for coming.